Most men have heard of it, but semen retention may never be the key to unlocking a level of energy, attraction, and mental clarity that few have experienced. What is hidden behind this practice goes far beyond what society teaches. What if I told you that when you stop wasting this vital force, your body automatically starts emitting signals of power and magnetism that people perceive without you having to say a word? What if, at the same time, you eliminate one of the hormones that most destroy your motivation and masculinity, prolactin? The problem is that the system never wanted you to know this. Overstimulation and the normalization of frequent ejaculation are part of a cycle that keeps men weak, tired, and directionless. But those who awaken to this knowledge notice a drastic change in their body, their mind, and even in the way the world responds to them. Science has already proven that sperm retention increases the production of pheromones, making a man more attractive, more confident, and with a natural power of influence. At the same time, prolactin, the hormone responsible for apathy and lack of ambition, drops, giving way to a burst of energy and purpose. Now, the big question is, why doesn't anyone talk about this? And what really happens in the body of those who decide to practice this discipline? The answers may surprise you and completely change your view of energy, success, and masculinity. Maintaining vital energy within the body is not just a mystical idea, it is a real strategy for those looking for more energy, mental clarity, and a strengthened spirit. Semen carries a powerful force, and each time it is retained, this energy does not dissipate, but is recycled within the organism. This generates more vigor for daily activities, from work to physical exercise. Those who practice retention quickly notice an increase in willpower and a different shine in their eyes, something that directly reflects on the energy field and attracts even more light and prosperity for life. Science already shows that semen retention can increase testosterone levels, directly impacting a man's energy and disposition. It's as if the body goes into turbo mode, where physical and mental functions operate more efficiently. This practice brings more peace internally, as it reduces fatigue, improves mood, and even combats symptoms of anxiety and depression. A practical example: try going at least 7 days without ejaculating and observe how your performance in physical and mental activities changes. Focus improves, mood grows, and even that laziness of getting out of bed in the morning dissolves like magic. Now, think about high-level athletes. Many avoid ejaculation before competitions to preserve their strength. This is not a baseless superstition, but a strategy that dates back to ancient times, used by warriors and spiritual leaders to maintain their maximum capacity. After all, the energy that is saved can be directed towards creation, towards connection with the creator of the universe, and to build a more balanced and powerful life. But there's something even more fascinating happening in the body during this process. The human body is like an intelligent system, always seeking balance. But when there is a constant loss of semen, this system can break down, resulting in hormonal fluctuations that affect energy, mood, and even mental health. Prolactin, for example, is a hormone that rises after ejaculation and can lead to fatigue, lack of motivation, and even lack of interest in life. By practicing retention, this cycle is interrupted, allowing the body to better regulate testosterone levels and reduce the negative effects of excess prolactin. The result: more vigor, more clarity, and a deep sense of peace and well-being. Many do not realize that hormone production directly impacts quality of life. When prolactin is in excess, it inhibits the production of dopamine, the neurotransmitter of pleasure and motivation. That's why after frequent ejaculations, many men feel that apathy, that laziness in carrying out tasks or even connecting with the people around them. With retention, dopamine returns to operating at high levels, bringing not only more energy, but also more enthusiasm and strength to pursue the goal. Prosperity in all areas of life. If we look at spiritual masters, athletes, and even great leaders in history, we see a pattern. They did not waste their vital energy for nothing. This control kept them in heightened states of consciousness and performance. Modern science already proves that maintaining a healthy hormonal balance impacts longevity, immunity, and even the quality of sleep. Now, imagine a scenario where, in addition to this internal balance, you also emanate a powerful social magnetism. Testosterone is the hormone of strength, courage, and achievement. When levels are high, man feels a natural impulse to act, face challenges, and build the life he wants. Semen retention enhances this production, creating an effect dominated by benefits: more energy, more self-confidence, and a stronger body. It is as if the body enters a state of high performance, where the mind becomes sharper and the body more resilient. Furthermore, This increase in testosterone strengthens the immune system, making the person less vulnerable to diseases and increasing their connection with the light and prosperity. If a man feels unmotivated, lack of focus, or even insecurity, it could be that low testosterone levels are sabotaging his potential. When retention comes into play, everything changes. The brain operates more clearly, posture becomes firmer, and social energy transforms. Have you ever noticed how some men enter a room and attract attention without saying a word? This magnetism is directly linked to the body's biochemistry. By retaining vital energy, man naturally transmits more presence and authority, generating respect and attracting opportunities, whether at work, in personal life, or even on the spiritual path towards the creator of the universe. The effects don't stop there. Muscles respond better to training, libido remains at a healthy level, and the mental state becomes more stable. Many men report that after a few weeks of holding back, they began to feel more certain, as if they had regained a primal instinct for leadership and achievement. This is no coincidence. It is the body operating in its ideal state. But there is something even more curious that happens to those who practice this discipline. The human body communicates much more than we imagine. Even without saying a single word, he emits chemical signals that influence the perception of those around him. Pheromones are these invisible signals, and they play an essential role in attraction and social magnetism. When a man practices withholding sex, his production of pheromones increases significantly, making his presence noticed in an intense and almost inexplicable way. The result? A natural charisma, which conveys strength, confidence, and an aura of light and vitality. Has it ever happened to someone standing out in an environment without making any effort? This often has to do not just with appearance or words, but with the energy that person exudes. Men who conserve their vital energy notice that eyes begin to follow them, that their presence becomes more impactful, and that interactions become more fluid. This phenomenon happens because the body is vibrating at a higher frequency, and pheromones amplify this perception. In practice, this translates into more respect in the social environment, more influence, and even more professional and financial opportunities, attracting more prosperity for life. Furthermore, pheromones not only increase interpersonal attraction, but also strengthen the sense of personal identity and power. When a man feels good about himself, his posture changes, his voice becomes firmer, and his presence becomes magnetic. And all this without having to pretend or force anything. It's just a reflection of internal balance. Now, imagine the impact of this transformation if, in addition, the body was also free from the energetic exhaustion caused by excessive ejaculation. The constant loss of semen drains not only the body but also the mind and spirit. Many men don't realize it, but the feeling of inexplicable tiredness, lack of motivation, and even low self-esteem can be directly linked to the waste of this vital energy. Each drop of semen contains impressive biological power, packed with essential nutrients, minerals, and hormones. When this strength is frequently wasted, the organism enters a state of exhaustion, weakening not only physical vitality, but also mental clarity and connection with the environment. Creator of the universe. Have you ever noticed how after excessive ejaculation the body becomes lethargic, the mind scatters, and the desire to act disappears? This happens because the energy that could be channeled for growth and evolution has been dissipated. Men who understand this mechanism and practice retention find that their daily mood changes completely. Focus improves, creativity emerges, and a sense of peace interior takes over. A simple exercise to test this. Try going 14 days without ejaculating and notice the difference in your energy level and productivity. Many report that after this period, they feel a clarity they have never experienced before. This preserved energy not only improves physical and mental performance, but also strengthens the energy field. People who practice retention notice that they become more resistant to negative influences, avoiding the feeling of exhaustion when dealing with charged environments or people who drain energy. With this new reserve of internal strength, man becomes more resilient and prepared to face any challenge. And the most interesting thing, this accumulated power begins to generate visible changes in the way others perceive you. Since ancient times, men who conserved their vital energy were those who stood out. Warriors, monks, and spiritual leaders understood that control over impulses was one of the greatest signs of strength and discipline. Modern science only confirms what traditions already knew. Semen retention improves pheromone production, increases physical strength, and sharpens the mind, giving men a real evolutionary advantage. In a world where most people are hostage to their own desires, those who master their energy become naturally superior, more focused, more magnetic, and more connected to life, light, and others' prosperity. Excess sexual activity can compromise the body's biology, reducing dopamine production and causing a state of chronic demotivation. In contrast, those who practice retention experience an increase in confidence, mental clarity, and willingness. Think of the greats in history. Many of them intuitively understood this principle. Nikola Tesla, for example, chose celibacy to channel all his energy into his revolutionary inventions. This does not mean that total abstinence is the only path, but rather that balance is the key to accessing higher levels of performance and connection with the creator of the universe. Evolution has always favored the strongest, and in today's scenario, strength is not just muscular, it is also mental, spiritual, and energetic. The man who masters his biology, instead of being dominated by it, becomes a natural leader, a creator of reality itself. He attracts opportunities, builds empires, and becomes a reference for those around him. But there is one last element that unites all these benefits and takes retention to an even more powerful level. The true staying power of sex lies not just in the physical benefits, but in the inner transformation it brings. The man who learns to control his impulses not only gains energy, but also develops a discipline that is reflected in all areas of life. Those who master this vital force find that their self-control expands into business, relationships, and their spiritual journey. He becomes his own master, someone who is no longer a slave to his own weaknesses, but rather a channel of light, strength, and prosperity to the world around you. Mastery over one's desires does not mean repression, but rather awareness and strategy. A man who does not waste his energy without purpose can channel it to create, build, and evolve. If before he felt trapped in cycles of procrastination and demotivation, now he sees a new horizon of possibilities. Great businesspeople, elite athletes, and spiritual masters have always understood this. A man's strength is directly linked to his ability to control his impulses. Imagine the impact of living with this clarity, with an unwavering purpose and a sharp mind, ready to turn any challenge into an opportunity. But what really differentiates those who only know this knowledge from those who apply it? Action. Knowing that semen retention brings benefits is one step, but living this reality is what separates the ordinary from the extraordinary. The man who decides to try this practice, even for a few days, already feels the difference. More energy, more magnetism, more personal power. And the journey doesn't end there. There is an even deeper secret about retention that can completely transform the lives of those who understand it. Now that you know the hidden power of semen retention, the big question is, what are you going to do with this knowledge? Are you just going to absorb this information and carry on with your life as before, or are you going to take control of your energy and experience this transformation in practice? What differentiates ordinary men from the truly powerful is not what they know, but what they apply. Imagine how your life could change if you decide to preserve your life force and channel it towards what really matters. Are you willing to take this step? The truth is, most men will never know this. They will remain hostage to their own impulses, wasting their energy without even realizing the impact it has on their mind, body, and spirit. But you don't have to be like the majority. You can choose a different path, a path of strength, self-control, and high performance. And when you start to feel the effects, the increased energy, the social magnetism, the mental clarity, you'll realize that this was one of the most powerful decisions you've ever made. Now tell me, are you ready to take on this challenge? Are you ready to awaken the strong, magnetic, and determined man within you? If yes, don't waste time. Start today and watch the transformation happen. And to continue learning more about this and other knowledge that will take your life to another level, subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, and leave a like. This way, you guarantee that you will receive content that will strengthen you and guide you on this journey of evolution.